Hey, it's Ashley, and I'm back with episode 11 of Marry My Husband. Okay, so if you read the webtoon, you know this is like the peak of everything. Like, this is what we've been waiting to see. We've been waiting for her to finally get Min-hwan and Su-min together, and together as in married, and that is this episode. But I just want to say in general, this week pissed me off. If you already seen episode 12, you know why. Yes, something happened that I mentioned like a few episodes back is starting to happen, and it's starting to annoy me. While I still enjoy the drama, I heard that in the manga that is what happens, but in the webtoon, which is what I read, that doesn't happen. So I like it because that's unexpected, but I don't like it because it's a trope that I don't like. But anyways, episode 11. When we ended episode 10, Ji-won and Ji-hyuk finally kissed, and that's where it ended. One thing I like about this show is that they do usually the next episode is continuous from the last thing. It doesn't just start from a different day or like later on. It's like, no, it ended on a cliffhanger. It starts on the cliffhanger, so you know what happens. Not okay. So they were making out, right? It's going well. Okay. While Ji-hyuk is kissing Ji-won, he's getting flashbacks and snippets of things that she said and pictures of his death. Like when he got in that car accident. It triggers him, like he gets so upset by it. And that feeling of him like saying like this is wrong takes over, and he stops making out with his, like, the love of his life at this point. Like, we all know it. And he kicks her out of his apartment. He says, this is wrong. I'm not the right one for you. I just want you to be happy. And leads her to the door and closes it. Like, he's staring at her the whole time. Might I add, he does not want to do this, but he does it. We don't want you to do it either, okay? So Ji-won's like crying, and I was like, that's another reason why I was like, this episode, like, y'all ain't even together yet, and you already like, nah, we can't do this. And that scene ends, and it goes to Duran, who, our girl got the promotion, like we said. Like, why wouldn't she? Mr. Kim is crappy. He doesn't know how to do his job. And plus, he's a misogynist piece of shit. But she comes into her job, and, well, they come into work, and he's like talking to her like he's still in his position, telling her, oh, you need to be here before anybody else. You need to have your computer on and everything ready. He's like, how are you going to send emails to people telling them that they can reach out to you if they need anything? He's like, who does that? I'm like, this is stuff that good managers do, sir. Just because you're trash and you only got that job because of nepotism, and you should be happy you still have it, you need to calm your ass down. But we already know he's pissed because a woman is over him. In that whole process where they were signing off on the proposal, there were no women. There were no women. It was all men, so he didn't care. But now that there's a woman over him, he's trying to show his ass even more than when he was a manager. And they show Ji-won, Yu-yeon, or Eun and Ji-won are in the women's break room area, and they're telling him, "Girl," they're like telling her, "Girl, you need to nip this in the bud. They're like, just put him in his place once, and you should be fine." And this is true. Like most people, when they're like trying to press your buttons and annoy you, if you put them in their place once, usually they stop. Usually. But they think they can push you around until you say something, and then they're just like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not easy prey." When Ji-won's at work, she's like looking around and she notices that Ji-hyuk, Mr. Yu, he's not at work. He's not in his office. Um but while they're in the ladies' lounge, Ji-won gets a message from her husband. And he's telling her she needs to come home early. Why? What do you got to do? And she's told him he wanted her to come home an hour earlier than she would with her new position. And she was going to do it. I think she did do it. And Ji-won's like, while they're walking back to their seats, like their office seats, Ji-won's like, "Hey, you should tell your parents." She's like, and she goes in to tell her she was married, and then she realized what she said, and she's like, "Yeah, I had a boyfriend like that, and people don't take you into consideration, and you need to do that. Like, you need to nip it in the bud because it just makes you. It's worse for you in the end." Ji-won notices again after some time that Mr. Yu isn't in the office. She asks, she's like, "Hey, where is he?" And Ji-won's like, "He actually called out sick," which is like unusual for him. I don't think he's ever called off. Ever. Could it be me? I'm sorry. Like, I think I'm a pretty good worker, but if I need a mental health day, I'm gonna take a mental health day. If I'm it cuts to Ji-won after she gets off work, she's like making porridge, and they're doing cuts in between that of her doing flashbacks when Min-hwan was sick and she was trying to take care of him. He was complaining the whole time. She was trying to feed him. She made him porridge. He was like, "Oh, I hate porridge. Why would you give me this? I told you I don't like it. You just made it to make yourself feel better." And she's like, "It's fine. It's not going to happen like that." When she makes it for Ji-hyuk. So she goes to take it and she's like hesitating at the door and she's like, "No, it's okay. I'm going to do it." And then she starts and then she backs away again. But then she hears Pang meowing and a loud bang. And she's like, "Shit." And she's trying to remember his code for his apartment that he gave her and puts it in. And she yells for Pang. But when she goes in, she sees Ji-hyuk laying on the ground. And she runs over.
병원 가셔야 될 것 같아요.
이렇게 계속 눈에
거예요?
의사 왔다 갔어. 아직도 불안해? 들려? 배를 타고 있는 기분이 사라져야 할 텐데.
매일같이 배를 타고 있는 기분이야. 발을 디디고 서 있는데
내가 땅이 되어줄 순 없지만
나는 안정되고 싶은데
안정적이고 강지원은 좋은 사람이니까.
그때 그 남자예요?
진짜 너무하네. 만나자마자 알아봤는데 좋아했는데.
Yeah, Ji-won finally figured out that it was Ji-hyuk that she hung out with that day when she was drunk. Well, yeah. I think just because women were more romantic, I just feel it feels so much better when it's him saying, I knew it was you the moment I seen you, and it's him pursuing her. I'm like the traditional girly that way, I guess, and I'm okay with that. But it just hits different, I think, for me at least. Um, but it does cut to after that scene. It cuts to Eun-ho at work, and one of the employees come up to him and they're like, "Hey, there's somebody here to see you. It's Hugh Yeon." And she's like all excited, and he was like, "You're just like your brother." And she was like, "What? That's rude." But she's like, I got some tickets for you." She's like, I have tickets for you. 2 tickets. And he was like, he started to cry. He was like, I am just a sentence in Ji-won's story. And Eun, she's not been part of this analogy at any point. So she's confused. She's like, huh? He's like, she doesn't like me like that. The shows Ji-won nursing, and he wakes up and she's laying right next to him. And she tells him, she's like, she asks him like, hey, do you know what happened? Do you remember what happened? She like checked his fever, or checked to make sure his fever had broken. She's like, do you remember what happened yesterday? And he's like, yeah. And she was like, oh, you said you remembered. People love saying, I don't know what happened. And she just hops up because she's like, I gotta get to work. And Ji-hyuk follows her out, and he's like, she comes up to him and she's like, hey, I just want to say I'm sorry that I didn't recognize you. And yeah, I might regret it, but I still want to try, like, dating. And she hugs him. And then it cuts to them going to work. He gives her a ride to work and drops her off before work, like before they actually get to work, because they're secretly dating now. Like, bruh, that rejection the night before, that was a shallow attempt. We know you weren't going to do it. We know you weren't going to fall. You couldn't do it. You know you couldn't do it. You kept saying in the other video, in the last video or last episode, he was like, I can't stop myself. Like, it's very hard for me to not go for what I want. So he gave you the green light. You did that soft rejection. Okay. And she was like, no. And super cute. Like, they're like getting on the elevator together, or like he gets on already because he parked in the parking garage, and then she comes through to get into the elevator. He's already there. She like stands in front of him, and they're like both grinning like two little kids. And you know, we know how he acts at work. He doesn't smile, so it's really cute. And then it goes to our favorite evil couple, Min-hwan and Su-min, and they're meeting his mom so that she can find out the woman who's carrying her grandchild. And Min-hwan told this woman all kinds of lies about Su-min, that she graduated from the same college as Ji-won, that she's going to work after she has the baby, even though she ain't got no job. What else did he tell her? I think that's most of the lies he told her. And Su-min's trying to make a good impression. It's just so funny watching them, all three of these evil people, try to act like they're such righteous, like sweet, caring people. And they're all just out for their own means. But then Su-min lies and says that, yeah, her mom wasn't too sure about her marrying Min-hwan, but she convinced him and she loves him. She thinks he's the best guy ever. And then after the meeting, both of them, they're like, well, Su-min first was like, I thought we were going to try something. We're starting new. Why would you lie? And he was like, do you want my mom to like you? We can't tell her you went to some little no-name college. And he was like, and then what was that? Your mom thinks I'm amazing. I've never met her. They just lie. They just lie to lie. And then he's like, well, I gotta go. And he puts on his jacket and walks off. And Su-min's like, like, girl. He was sweet to you, right? He treated you oh so sweetly before all of this. And now you're in Su-min's. You're in Su-min. You're in Ji-won's shoes. You know how it feels. You're about to feel how it feels. Thinking you're caught a prize. Thinking he's so great. And I'm here for it. After their scene, we get to see Ji-hyuk and Ji-won go on a date. Ji-won gets to wear a beret the correct way. And they go to Busan.
오늘부터 1일 이런 거 세셨어요?
언제까지 나는 부장님인 건가 싶어서.
이사로 승진하실 때까지? 장난이에요. 부장님 전 여자친구들은 부장님 어떻게 부르는데요?
Call him director.
나는 오늘부터 1일 같은 거 할 필요가 없었어요. 나를 뭐라고 불렀는지 기억도 안 나요. 별로 상관이 없어서.
So they get to go on their date as an official couple. I enjoyed it. And then after that, we're getting more about Juron. It shows Juron with her husband and her parents. He's getting chewed out. They're telling him, what do you do then? You don't work. So you should be doing house chores and cleaning the house. And her dad's like, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. If you don't want to do that, guess what? We can get you a job at a restaurant. Yeah? That sound good? You can clean tables, serve food, wash dishes. And he's like, oh, sir, that's not really the kind of work I like. And the mom was like, you don't like doing housework, so what do you like doing? And the dad's like, you know what? Nope, that's fine. You drop their daughter off at drop Juron off at work, and then you can come to the restaurant. They don't even have to worry about childcare. You can bring the kid with them. And the whole time he's trying to look at Juron for her to help him, and she's like, no, why? Why are you looking to her to help you when you haven't helped her at all? You haven't been doing shit. You suck. Then the next day at work, Juron comes in, and guess who's sitting in her seat? And a new employee comes in and talks to him. There's a hint that he's a new employee. He wants to introduce himself. Mr. Kim is sitting in Juron's seat like he's still a manager. And Juron comes in after all this happens, and he's like, oh, yeah. Mr. Kim's like, yeah, I used to be a manager, getting out of the seat. And he has the nerves to tell Juron, he's like, yeah, keep my seat warm for me. It's still formed. It's still formed to my butt. I'm like, my blood pressure. I can't. And Ji-won and Hyo-yeon are looking at her like, do it, girl, do it. Now's the time. Ji-won's like, cut him down. And she did. She finally did. She addressed it. She was like, Mr. Kim, do you not forget? Or no, when she addressed him, she said, assistant manager Kim, you're not a manager anymore. I am. And he was like, well, why are you talking to me like that? 'Cause she's talking to him informally. And she was like, well, that's how you're talking to me. She's like, I talk to you respectfully. He's like, you know, there's a way to hierarchy. And you're so good at it, maybe you should learn how to do it. He also told him, where's your proposal? He was like, oh, I'm gonna give it to you. She's like, I'm gonna need you to work a little bit harder on it. It's not bad. It's not terrible, but it could use some work. And everybody in the office, they're all like, oh shit. And she told him, she was like, so I can keep talking to you like this, or I can talk to you like this. And she used the two different, she used the formal speak, and then she used informal. And he looked around thinking somebody was going to come to be his savior and help him out. No, sir. So he goes outside on the balcony to go get some air. And Min-hwan comes out and they're like, and they're both bashing women, saying, who do these women think they are? Blah, blah, blah. And Min-hwan offers him a cigarette and he's like, yeah, men should support men. But before he's like, well, after that, then he's like, so tell me, Mr. Park, you're not dating SuMin, are you? And he's like, oh, no. No. He's like, you want to go to the sauna tonight after work? And he's like, oh, no, Manager Kang's family is having this barbecue. And he was like, no, I got other plans. Because they were bonding, bashing the women. So he didn't want to say that's where he was going. The barbecue for Miss Kang or Ji-won for her promotion at her family's restaurant. This meat looking like a native. This is not going to end well. I do not think he's going to hold his tongue. Mr. Lee, we know Mr. Lee. He likes her. He likes Ji-won. And him catching him cheating. And he does go into the restaurant and introduces himself. So Mr. Lee finds out that that is her husband. I don't know. I don't know if he'll confront him or not. I feel like he would. I feel like he might say something to the husband, but he won't say anything to her. But I don't know. But Hugh Yeon, she gets freaked out when she's like, "What's Mr. Lee doing here?" And Ji-won's like, "I invited him," and she's like, "You invited him?" You invited him and he came? Are you serious right now? So, Hugh Yeon, you know she got those antennas. The ones Min-hwan was talking about. Ji-won's got, or Ji-won. Hugh Yeon has them, and she's like her? Like Miss Kang? Or not Miss Kang. I think I've called her Miss Kang a couple times too. That is not her last name. Miss Yang. Yang. That's why Yang and Kang. That's my fault. But anyway, Miss Yang. I think Yeon's picking up on something. And then goes back to our favorite couple again. But we're getting a montage.
나 회사엔 절대 안 알릴 거야. 그런 줄 알아.
집이 잘 나왔다는 거죠?
네네. 급하게 찾으신 전세 없는데 다행히 딱 있어요.
잠깐만요. 전세를 어머 전세라니? 매매가 전세가 왜?
요즘 동남아도 괜찮고요.
홀몸도 아닌데 비행기 타는 거 안 좋다. 이 색조 괜찮네. 메이크업은 이렇게 하는 걸로 하고요. 이건 너무 많이 파였어요. 괜찮다. 이거 점잖으니 괜찮네. 드레스는 이걸로.
이게 뭐야? 요즘에
야,
아니 내가 어머니한테 어떻게 얘기해?
아이. 오, 현질 안 해도 돼.
He's done. He changed so fast. Like, did she think? I wonder if she thought she was gonna get an engagement like Ji-won got, like a proposal. Because that didn't happen. That was in her apartment where nobody could see it. She's I mean, it's what she deserves. She deserves it. And I can't wait. You said you were pregnant, and now everything has to be rushed because Min-hwan wasn't going to marry you, period. He said you're not marriage material, but since you got knocked up, that's the only way his mom's going to give him money so he can pay off all of his private loans that he took. This is your shit show. You're the freaking star. I can't feel bad for her at all. Like, not even a little bit. So he's not getting the money from the house. Like, he thought his mom, she said she was going to buy him a house when he married Ji-won. But I guess since SuMin got knocked up and they're rushing the marriage, she doesn't expect it to last. And she's giving him a 2-year trial before she actually buys them a house. Okay. I don't know how he's going to wiggle his way out of that one. But Ji-won is at work. And guess what she gets? She gets a ding on her phone first. First off, she gets a ding on her phone. And somebody sent her a wedding announcement. Not the ones that the mom wanted to send out. Not her email or texting it to her boo so he can see it, so they can go laugh together on their way home. He said they were going to get married on the way to their date. That was like instantaneous. The whole office knows now. Look at Mr. Kim after Mr. Park or Min-hwan said that he wasn't dating SuMin. He gets a wedding announcement. Yeah, check your email, buddy. Why is he yelling at HR for doing their job? Yeah, you are getting married, buddy. That's cool that the team gets days off to attend the wedding. They're supposed to announce it so everybody knows. Not getting called out by a random HR person. I think that's another HR person or just another employee. Everybody's on Ji-won's side. We'd love to see it. Mr. Lee looks so happy to see him. He's never seen him like that, period. He's seen him in a new light. Does that mean he likes him? Does that mean he'll stay with the company? Robot man. He's acting like a damn robot. That doesn't sound like a fun life at all. No wonder what he was saying. His life was like a perfectly written book. Get it? At least a little peck. Not this fool going off on everybody. Because everybody knows he's getting married to SuMin. Like, is it that bad? I mean, you two deserve each other. You're not that great, mister. You're a piece of shit. Work like you usually do. Keep your head down. Shut the hell up. He's a freaking man baby. Like, why are you throwing tantrums? Because you're... Well, we know why. He's a lunatic. Yeah. No, not all of them. Just your son. That you raised like that. You're supposed to be okay with that. She's so nice to her. Because she's pregnant. How long is that gonna last, though? Wants her to listen to all those CDs and tapes? Ma'am. Ma'am, I don't think so. I need to get out of your presence so you don't find out my ass is pregnant. SuMin is... This is her own. She did all this shit to herself. But it's funny. I mean, she's getting what she wants. She's treating her like a daughter. For now. You seen in the flashback, she a real mean ass. Because Ji-won didn't have kids. SuMin doesn't have any either, but she don't know that. I don't know if she'll ever find out if she will or not. She'll find out eventually, right? 9 months, there's no baby. But yeah, SuMin, I feel like SuMin's like, I gotta find a way to get out of this lie. I don't know. I don't know if she's regretting the marriage yet, but at least, well, I don't know. Maybe she thinks the mom will still be nice to her. I don't think she will, because she was mean as hell to Ji-won when Ji-won wasn't able to conceive. And I think if she finds out that SuMin's lying, she might be even worse than Min-hwan towards her. We'll see. In the webtoon, Ji-won gets a text from SuMin again saying, hey, they're getting married. But Ji-won has it. She makes it a party. And she tells SuMin, she's like, hey, come here. We can meet and go out to eat. And SuMin shows up and it's all of their coworkers. They're giving her an away party. And Min-hwan's with her. And then she gives out the announcement, and Min-hwan's pissed because everybody knows that they're about to get married. But it shows Ji-won and Ji-hyuk after that part where he says, "I was the one who sent out the invitation." He falls asleep on Ji-won's lap, and she overhears him talking in his sleep, and he says, "I want to live," and she looks like she's kind of heard it, or she was like confused about what she heard. And they show Ji-won and Ji-hyuk going to go visit her dad's grave. He has a little pine tree, and they put some pictures of them from when they went on their date, because this was his divine intervention. Like, best matchmaker, like, I want to say a matchmaker from the undead matchmaker, daddy undead matchmaker. And then it shows Ji-won and Ji-hyuk again. They're like flirting at work. They're walking by each other and grabbing each other's hands as they're walking by. And then it cuts to Ji-won. It's D-Day. Ji-won's getting ready for the wedding. You don't see her outfit, but she has on this amazing white trench coat with gold buttons or embellishments, whatever you want to call it. She looks good. And Ji-hyuk shows up to ask her if she's ready, and she's like, yeah, she's just putting on her lipstick. He's like, well, I have something for you. The necklace that he bought, that I thought he was going to give to her on Christmas, he gives it to her before they leave for the wedding. This necklace is beautiful. It's huge. I didn't think it was that big when I seen it, but then I found the necklace that SuMin got from Min-hwan. His is authentic, of course, but he tells her, he was like, only the best for Ji-won. So they go to the wedding, right? SuMin, girl, she hired somebody to be her mom because we don't know anything about her mom. In the webtoon, her mom's an asshole. So if they're following that part of the story, I can see why she's not there.
난 가족이 생긴 거야. 내가 이긴 거야.
Yeah, you won, girl. A real prize
어머니,
of trash.
저 배 안 나왔죠?
Pile, because you had his
안
mom in there
나와야지.
too.
그것 때문에 이렇게 서둘러 시골리는데. 근데 네 친구들은 왜 안 오니?
Like, I better not see no
너
baby.
제대로 시간 알려준 거
Together
맞지?
this half-dash wedding. It's pretty.
그래. 예, 앉아.
Her hanbok, not that dress. The same dress Ji-won had on. Not cute.
그냥 찍어요.
And now her trying to cover up the wedding dress.
해도 사진에
You
나온
can't
것이
see her
좋은
stomach.
거지.
You not want her to look better than her at her own wedding.
네, 차가 많이
Weird.
막혔나 보네요.
아유, 그러게요. 제가 부산에서만
I
살아서
only lived in
서울 교통 상황에 깜짝
Traffic
놀랐어요.
surprised me.
아, 왜 이렇게 늦었어요? 필요 없어 기다린 거잖아요. 미안해.
That ain't her
차가
mama.
진짜 막혔어.
I don't know if I'm gonna
아니야.
maybe a little backstory for SuMin.
죽어도 결혼감은 아니라더니.
Not his friend calling him out saying, "You said she is not white material."
너만 왔냐?
I mean,
딴
that's what
새끼들은
you said. You told her to
중별
her
성질
face.
아니냐? 바람피는
None of his friends are showing up because he's a
바람에 다른
cheater.
여자애들은 안 온대고.
You probably know he's trash. They're not gonna do anything.
저건 뭐야?
Strutting in looking
신부
like
직신이
royalty.
됐나?
Min-hwan. Duck. Like, damn, she look good. You missed out on that. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get
결혼
it.
축하해. 이건
That's not.
근데
You're supposed to be telling
뭐
that
이런 걸
to
다.
your wife. Not Ji-hyuk. Like, yeah, this is my girl now. Back up.
야, 저 여자 어디서 봤나 했더니
설마 네 전 여친이야? 강지원?
Yep, it is.
뭐야, 왜 여신이야?
But yeah, she is a goddess.
야, 너 환승 한 게 아니라
Thank you.
당한 거야.
His friend is always so insightful.
쫑알 진짜 씨.
Yeah, he did get dumped. Literally dumped his ass on the ground. On the ground.
어디서 당했어? 동풍 적 있냐?
Ooh, yeah. Made those. Oh, they were already asking for money.
이제 곧 입장하실
Not
거예요.
to the wedding. But how did Ji-won get him though? Did he have him go to her house so his family wouldn't see it?
왜 이렇게 늦었어?
Because you're
안
not my
오는 줄
friend.
알았잖아.
I can show up whenever I feel like it. I like Ji-won's hair better. But everything exactly the same. Wait, she has the veil too? Yep. Look like the dress Princess Diana wore when she got married. Princess Diana.
에이, 그건 아니지. 아버님이 네 얼굴 다 아시는데.
I was in the 80s.
그건
She
그렇지.
married in the 80s.
드레스 잘 어울린다.
The dress looks good on you. She lying. You know she lying. She
그렇지?
could barely smile.
어머님이 골라주셨어. 딸이라고 생각하고 대해주시는데.
Sure. Sure, girl.
너랑은 잘 맞아서 다행이다.
Sure, Jan. No thanks.
사진까지는 찍을 필요 없을 것 같고. 축하해.
Congratulations.
내가 버린 쓰레기. 알뜰살뜰 좋은 거.
She all read and splotched and she's mad.
이거 범인한이 다 준 거야. 그러니까
She got high. is what
필요할
she
때
said.
쓰든가 팔든가 마음대로.
Great girl. Thanks for picking up my trash, bitch. I'm out. That's the whole reason I came. Just tell you that. I feel like those are happy tears. I think she's finally feels like everything's said and done. It's over. She don't gotta worry about them anymore. Doesn't have what was it? She's not married to him. She doesn't have all that debt from him. She doesn't have cancer, which I'm pretty sure she got from him and his family stressing her out. And what else is it? I think that's it. Those were the things she needs to get rid of. And our girl's good. So Ji-won laughing in her face when she finally told her, "Thank you for taking care of my trash." We know SuMin's delusional. Like, I slightly feel bad for her. I feel bad for her for the fact that she just wants to have a family. Same as Ji-won. But she's just so manipulative and vindictive and mean and spiteful and evil about it that I can't feel too bad for her. Like, slightly, like a sliver. I feel bad for her. But her and Min-hwan, they're perfect for each other. What is it they say? They are equally yoked because they're both trash. This was like the second best part. Eun-ho shows up. He sent an invitation to him too, but he showed it to some other people. That's our 3 favorite bullies. The outfits in the webtoon were worse. They look like they're about to go clubbing. No, those are your friends, girl. Don't try to lie. You used them to bully Ji-won for years in front of everybody. Now everybody at the wedding talking about them being cheaters. And not him saying anything. He ran off to make her deal with it. That's who you married to. The show mess cleaned it up. Left ball. The right ball. How's that vulgar? Well, no, vulgar. Where are her eyeballs? She like, don't be nasty, Mom. You're gross. They're ruining this wedding, and I love it. They came to avenge Ji-won. All right. Are you okay? Yes. Go eat together and fall in love. Oh, she wasn't there. And it actually cuts to Juron. He's at work in the storage closet where she likes to go to think, and she's crying. And Mr. Lee walks in, and he was like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, talking, but it's not making complete sense to him. And he was like, "I went and got the results, but it took a while, so I didn't go see them, get to hear them in person." And she's like, "I just want to stay here and gather my thoughts before I go home because her daughter's there." And he was like, Stop. Makes sense." He's like, "Actually, you know what? Let's leave here." And she looks at him. She looks up at him, and she's like, tears are filling her eyes. Got cancer. Juron. And then it cuts after that part. I feel so bad for her. But she's the old Ji-won in this timeline. He's the shitty husband in the stomach cancer. He actually has a family, like a loving family, which is great. So it's not totally on par with Ji-won's previous life, but two out of the three. But it cuts to Ji-hyuk and Ji-won going back to go relax after the wedding. And when they're about to go in, somebody comes down the steps and it's like, "Oh." And Ji-hyuk looks annoyed. I don't really say he looks scared, but he just looks annoyed. And she was like, "Oh, here you are, my fiance." And she's like, "Oh, well, should I say ex-fiance? It's Uriah. Or Yara. I'll figure out how to say your name." She pisses me off already as soon as I seen her. Because I was like, "Wait, who is this?" I'm like, who is this? It's Ji-hyuk's ex-fiance that he broke up with, showing up at his apartment. I'm like, are you trying to get back with him, girly? Huh? And Ji-hyuk holds on to Ji-won's hand to let her know, like, hey, to like reassure her, but she's shook. I would be shook. I just got out of a relationship with a cheater, and now I feels like I just jumped into another relationship with a cheater. But that's how the episode ends. First off, Ji-hyuk's ex, it's the K-pop idol queen, forever reigning queen, Boa. I did not know that. I did not know that was her. She did not look how I'm used to seeing her. So I was kind of shook. I didn't know until I seen somebody else's comments about it. I was like, really? That's Boa? I was like, that's not how she usually looks. But yeah, people do not like her. Mostly her character. They are saying she looks weird, but I think they're just saying it looks like she got lip filler. I don't like her character already. Okay. Unnecessary. And this is the part where I think in the manga people were saying she was included in it, but in the webtoon she's not in it. I'm like, okay. Two tropes that I can't stand: meddling parents, forcing people to get married, and exes who don't know when to quit. And I was like, hopefully this gets resolved quickly. I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to get everything in 16 episodes. If they push it out to 20, I'd be fine with that. As long as it's not added turmoil that doesn't make sense. You know, like one trope that I always people say, somebody getting amnesia and then they spend like an episode acting like they don't know who that person is and stuff like that. But we'll see. That wedding was fucking amazing. I think SuMin is finally starting to realize maybe she fucked up, and trying to covet everything Ji-won has is not a great idea. But I'm ready to see her realize she lost, since she's always trying to put Ji-won down and think she's better than her. I'm ready for her to reap what she's sown. Min-hwan, we know he's a trash man baby. His mama, she's not really part of the problem, but she is the problem, you know, like she's not really a part of it per se. But her getting screwed over in some way would be fine for me. Juron, I feel terrible for her. I think Mr. Lee is gonna do something to help her. I don't know what. But he seemed like he was devastated when he found out that she has cancer. Maybe because he knows about her about her husband. So just him knowing that on top of this makes him feel bad. And then if we're going on the parallels between her and Ji-won, that's why I keep saying he likes her. But he's never said anything. I feel like he kind of did the same. He's doing the same things that Ji-hyuk did in his previous life towards Juron, where he says things that may come off mean, like Ji-hyuk with the earrings. I think she's pisses him off because she can see she sees through him, but I don't think she sees through him enough to know that he likes her. Oh, Ji-hyuk being petty and sending the wedding invitation to HR so they blast it out to everybody. Chef's kiss. Watching Min-hwan freak the hell out was hilarious. There is a scene that I forgot about. I forgot that Min-hwan went up to Ji-won and tried to make her like acknowledge him at work. Why? Why would she need to do that? Because you feel bad? That's not her fault. You caused all of this. So you can sit in that. Okay, let it marinate. No, it's not gonna fix any of your issues, but you deal with that yourself. Anywho, fashion. Ji-won's outfit to the wedding, amazing. I'm kind of mad she didn't wear the dress they had in the webtoon, but I still like that she wore all white. It was that pantsuit looked amazing. Her outfit when they went on their first date, the pink one, was very cute. It kind of reminds me of something SuMin had worn before. It kind of reminded me of the outfit SuMin wore when they went to the reunion. like the pink tweed outfit, but it still looks good. Oh, her outfit she wore on their date was cute. I like the beret and the coat. We didn't really get to see all of the outfit. She had a long jacket on, but it still looked good. I think that's all. Oh, the other outfit she wore when they were walking towards each other and they just like grabbed hands for a second and kept walking by. That outfit was cute. Um, and then speaking of the fashion, I did not know that people were complaining about Ji-won's outfits. Um, again, it's a different culture, so I can see why some pieces people were like, nobody would wear that to the office, but it's a TV show. Like, come on now. But let me not push my Western beliefs. But all of her outfits are fantastic. I think people were mostly complaining about the one where she had her shoulder out. But they were trying to say that the dress she wore to the reunion, she didn't wear that to work. And I was like, why are people saying she wore that to work? Because she didn't. That was over the weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you in episode 12. Like the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you later. Bye.